Have you ever imagined if all of a sudden the Earth simply stopped rotating? It sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, doesn't it? But let's let our imagination run wild. What would really happen if this occurred? The first thing that comes to mind is absolute chaos. The Earth stopping its rotation is more than just a cosmic magic trick. It's a potential disaster that could change everything we know about our planet. And the impact wouldn't be limited to Earth. It could even affect our moon and life as we know it. Curious to find out how a simple halt in the Earth's rotation could transform our planet and the universe around us? Stay with me to explore this surprising scenario and see what happens when the planet and the cosmos challenge each other in unimaginable ways. Let's imagine for a moment that the Earth suddenly stopped rotating. The immediate reaction would be absolute chaos, as all objects on the surface, including people and buildings, would be moving at around 700 kilometers per hour due to inertia. This speed corresponds to the Earth's rotation at the equator. So imagine buildings being dragged like toys and people flying like leaves in the wind. The devastation would be immense and instantaneous, showing that without the Earth's rotation, what seemed like a stable state would transform into an apocalypse of global proportions. This inertial force would generate immediate catastrophe. Within hours, the scene would be one of total destruction, with massive damage to infrastructure, loss of life, and general confusion. It's as if the planet were disintegrating under the pressure of its own inertia. The entire structure of civilization would be put to the test, and science would have to start from scratch to understand the impact of such an event. This scenario makes us question the mechanisms that sustain our stability, revealing the importance of Earth's rotation in our daily lives. Moreover, this initial chaos wouldn't be the end of the problem. A stationary Earth would trigger a chain reaction that would affect not only what's on the surface, but also the global balance. Gravity, rotation, and inertia would be in conflict, generating new challenges for science and the survival of life on the planet. And while everyone tried to understand the new world, other, even more dramatic consequences would be on their way. Now that we've begun to glimpse the immediate devastation of a stationary Earth, let's explore the secondary consequences of this catastrophic event. How could natural disasters like tsunamis and landslides further transform the apocalyptic landscape? And how might these changes shape a new planet? When the Earth stops rotating, the chaos wouldn't stop with the initial impact. The Earth's rotation influences the movement of the oceans and seas, so if it suddenly stopped rotating, imagine what would happen to these massive bodies of water. Monster tsunamis would begin to form, invading continents and causing massive destruction. It would be as if the planet were struggling to adjust to the new order, resulting in gigantic waves that would sweep away everything in their path. In addition to tsunamis, there would be landslides on an unprecedented scale. The water that usually moves with the Earth's rotation would begin to redistribute, causing large areas of land to erode. Imagine mountains collapsing and valleys forming where there once were plains. The movement of water and material would cause even the continents to rearrange, like pieces of a giant puzzle being reorganized. And as if that weren't enough, the planet could even begin to form a new continent. With the displacement of large amounts of water and land, new landmasses could emerge, while others would be submerged. This new planetary mosaic would be a battleground for natural disasters, and at the same time, a unique opportunity for science to understand how the planet can reinvent itself after a catastrophe of such magnitude. We're just beginning to explore the extreme changes the Earth would face. With extreme climate changes looming, what else does the planet have in store for us? How could endless cycles of heat and cold transform our environment? Without Earth's rotation, life on the planet would undergo a radical transformation. Imagine experiencing 6 months under an unrelenting sun, followed by 6 months of deep darkness. This endless cycle of day and night would have devastating effects on Earth's climate and habitability. During the day, temperatures could soar to unbearable levels, creating scorching deserts and making life nearly impossible in many regions. At night, the cold would be so intense that the planet could become a freezing, inhospitable place. This scenario would also have a direct impact on agriculture. Plants, which rely on regular cycles of light and darkness, would be unable to adapt to the new extreme rhythms. This would lead to a global food crisis, with food production drastically reduced. Imagine not being able to grow the food you eat every day because the climate is so unpredictable and extreme. Survival would become a daily struggle, and science would have to find new ways to grow food in such adverse conditions. Moreover, the extreme climate would cause the poles to melt and other areas to freeze, altering ocean patterns and affecting sea levels. The Earth would become a place of extremes, where some regions would be scorching hot and others frozen, while the global climate struggled to find a new balance. This drastic change could even lead to a new configuration of habitable zones on the planet. But the change doesn't stop there. If the Earth stopped rotating, one of the most dramatic effects would be the loss of its magnetic field. This field is like an invisible shield that protects us from solar and cosmic radiation. Without it, the planet would be exposed to immense amounts of radiation that would normally be blocked. Imagine the Earth without its natural sunscreen. The sky would no longer be blue and clear, but filled with invisible dangers from space. Intense solar radiation would not only affect human health, but also life in general. Increases in radiation could lead to serious health problems, such as skin cancer and other disorders related to prolonged exposure. Without protection, life on Earth's surface would become very difficult, forcing many to seek refuge in underground shelters or artificial environments designed to filter out radiation. In addition to health issues, the impact on technology would be significant. Satellites and communication systems could be damaged, interfering with our global connections and internet services. It's as if Earth were cutting off the signal of the modern world, and science would have to find ways to protect our technological systems from the new storm of radiation. As we adapt to this new reality, the question arises, what would life be like underground or in protected environments? What would be necessary to ensure people's survival and well-being? As we explore these questions, we approach an even more challenging scenario, the risk of collision with the moon. Now, if the situation already seemed complicated, wait until you hear about the risk of collision with the moon. If the Earth stopped rotating, not only would our planet face chaos and disasters, but the moon would also start behaving unpredictably. The Earth's rotation is what keeps the moon in its stable orbit. Without this rotation, the gravitational pull between Earth and the moon would change, and the moon would slowly begin to drift away, or, in some scenarios, could even start to dangerously approach the Earth. If the moon came too close, we could face a catastrophic situation. Imagine the moon, which already causes tides, now causing colossal tsunamis and other natural disasters with its increasing proximity. The collision could result in massive destruction, similar to the impact that billions of years ago caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. It would be a cosmic event that would change the planet forever, and life as we know it could be altered irreversibly. Moreover, the loss of the moon would also affect tidal patterns in the balance of the oceans. Without the moon to influence tides, the planet would face drastic changes in its water cycles, which would affect marine life and how oceans interact with the climate. The Earth would be adrift, struggling to find a new balance without its constant lunar companion. And with that, we have a complete scenario of how the cessation of Earth's rotation would affect not only our planet, but also its interaction with other celestial bodies. How do you think humanity would adapt to such a drastically different world? What technologies or strategies could we develop to face such challenges? And what lessons can we take from this reflection to protect our planet in the present? If you were intrigued by what could happen and want to continue learning about the mysteries of the universe and how they affect our lives, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any of our fascinating content about the cosmos and beyond. Let's keep exploring together.